This ceremony is long overdue, through months, through hours of rain, but we have made it here today. I'd like to introduce for the invocation, Chaplain Kiva Nice Webb. Remain standing and please remove your hats.
Please join me in a moment of reverence. Holy One, in the midst of the chaos and pain, loss, and uncertainty of our world, always present but this year keenly felt, we pause this morning to give thanks for the blessing of marking important transitions together. We give thanks for the support of family and friends, of mentors and professors, and the hard work of each of our ancestors who brought us to this moment through the summer to this very place. We call to mind all those who are not able to be here with us physically today. And on this commencement day, we ask that you bless our holy work of celebrating and releasing the most recent graduates of our Westminster community, those who are here before me and those who are always with us in spirit. There is much going on in the world, but for just this afternoon, for just this moment, let us be fully present, fully here, in gratitude and celebration. We pray together in the name of all that is sacred, all that is good. Amen. I would now like to invite Dr. David Roebuck, Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean of Faculty, to the podium for the welcome, and you may be seated.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. There we go. I'm David Roebuck, Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean of the Faculty. It's my honor to welcome you to Westminster College. For this moment, and we're excited to finally be here with you today. You should be proud of all you accomplished while you were here at Westminster College. You should be especially proud of all that you overcame in the spring semester of your senior year. Today you become part of an important tradition. Thousands of students have graduated from Westminster College since 1855. Our graduates leave these columns and go on to become world-renowned physicians, respected attorneys, published writers, successful business owners, skilled financial advisors, caring educators, global entrepreneurs, innovators of technology, much more. Most importantly, our graduates make an impact on the world. You will make an impact on the world in your own way, because of the time you spend here on this remote hill on 86 acres in mid-Missouri. Today you're rewarded for that hard work, for the lack of sleep as you cram for final exams, for all the tears that you shed, for the backs aching, bending over your digital blue iPads, for the endless assignments, for the countless cups of coffee as you polished off your papers, and for the occasional appeal for divine intervention. Through it all, the friendships you made here will be among the best you will ever enjoy. Because of your decision to attend Westminster College, your lives have been enriched beyond measure, and the lives of others will be enriched because of your influence. We're glad you chose this historic, transformational college. We're glad you're here today. Let me again welcome you to Westminster College's 2020 commencement ceremony. Enjoy this special day with your friends and family. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Emily Lucet, Senior Class President.
They told me to keep it short, and if there's one thing I'm good at, it's being short. On behalf of the class of 2020, I would like to welcome you, President Don Laffey, distinguished guest Sarah Hartweir, our dedicated faculty and staff, everyone via live stream, commencement ceremony. Class of 2020, we did it. We're bringing home the win. As an athlete, I have spent countless hours on the bus. Most of you can relate, whether it was at Westminster or in high school, at one point in your life or another, you can relate to the feeling of riding the bus home after a win. This is a great feeling. However, our win, this win, isn't just a little one. This was like Game 7, rivalry team, comeback of the underdogs kind of win. So this ride home is more than great. It's exceptional. Just like the ride home, you're with your friends, you're tired, you're proud. But nonetheless, you're together, and there's no better feeling. Well, today, my friends, we are bringing home the win. Just shy of a few weeks, 4 years ago today, we walked through these columns and got on the bus, and it's been one hell of a ride. We've hit some bumps in the road, may have broken down a couple of times, never quite run out of gas, although it felt like we came pretty close. We took a couple of naps, played a couple of games, but here we are now, 4 years later, bringing home the win. From freshman year, with clowns in the parking lot, to sophomore year watching the eclipse together on the turf, to junior year when we danced to Lizzo every Thursday night at Bottomless, finally bringing us into senior year, which could arguably have been the longest, craziest part of our ride. Class of 2020, there's no one I would rather be on the bus with. We are strong, we are brave, and at Westminster, we have found our purpose. Now let's go out and take our purpose into the world and make a difference. Let's stick together and be a light. Let's love one another and be positive, because you never know when one positive word or even a smile can turn someone's day around. This class can do anything we say. Our inner light to brighten our world of injustice, inequality, hatred, and violence. We are called upon to seek out change. Our light is needed in the world right now. This hate is not strong unless given the power to be. So let's choose to shine bright. Let's walk into the dark spots and illuminate them, especially in the times when it is hard. And please, do not be afraid, because we are radiant, and together, shine brighter than the sun. I have no doubt that we will make a positive change, so let's do so. Let's take our purpose and our light and go out into the world. Congratulations, class of 2020. It's our time to shine.
Thank you, Emily, and good afternoon to all. And I'm very, very happy we were able to commence this ceremony this afternoon, considering the weather this morning, and we very much thank your patience in working with us. I also want to welcome to the graduation class of honoring the Westminster Class 2020. I'm Don Lofi, the interim president of the college. And on behalf of the entire Westminster College community, it is my honor and pleasure to welcome you, our commencement speaker, Ms. Sarah Hart-Ware, our event staff, those watching from afar virtually, those here visiting with us, and those who could not be with us today, and most especially our class of 2020 graduates. Before I begin my brief remarks, I'd like to acknowledge former President Dr. Fletch Lampkin and his wife Cindy, who could not be with us this afternoon. We again wish both of them a very enjoyable retirement. As Dr. Roebuck mentioned, this is truly a remarkable day for the class of 2020, which none of us here will soon forget. Not only for the issues of our world that we're currently experiencing, but because today we're finally here to recognize your collective hard work and significant accomplishments. As I thought about my remarks for this afternoon's ceremony, I found myself thinking about my own personal experience as a fellow alumnus of Westminster College. 40 plus years ago, on May 2nd, 1979 to be specific, just across the street in Champ Auditorium, I graduated from Westminster and immediately began my professional career with a Big 8 accounting firm. Some things then were different than today. Most notably, there was not a pandemic. But some things always remain the same. Families, the emotions, and their feelings for their graduates remain the same. In my own case, my mother assured me that I was in real trouble if I did not make it back to Westminster from the National Track and Field Championships in Abilene, Texas, the same afternoon of my graduation as I flew in that morning from Dallas. It all worked out, and I still remember, though, the feeling of accomplishment which you are about to feel as I walked across the stage. Recently, my wife, Lorraine, and I experienced what your families are experiencing today, a remote, altered graduation format that is clearly different than any of us expected. Our son graduated from the U.S. Naval Academy this spring, and commencement and commissioning were closed to outside guests, and we weren't able to participate, and they didn't have a virtual streaming or ceremony until the following weekend. We were disappointed, to say the least, many like a lot of your families were today. However, despite that format, though, the experience was unique and ultimately positive for all of us, which I truly hope you'll feel the same. Graduates of the class of 2020, as you begin the next phase of your lives, please be assured you always have a home here at Westminster College that we truly value as an alumni. Our alumni network is a vibrant community. Reach out to your alumni association and to one another for career and personal support. I also urge you to keep up with your professors, your friends, and the staff who befriended you here during your 4 years. Westminster is a family. It cares for you, and it will continue to care for you throughout your adult lives. On a personal note, I spent many years away from the campus because of both professional and personal responsibilities and commitments. But I always found coming back to the college to be such a positive experience. It is truly my genuine wish you will have the same experience, and that the education and relationships you've made at Westminster College will provide a strong foundation for your lives. Through hard work, dedication, and strong and ongoing support from the Westminster College community, I'm confident you will succeed. In closing, I'm truly honored to be the interim president of this institution that we all care so deeply and passionately about, and to witness this milestone in your lives this afternoon. Westminster has weathered many storms since its founding in 1851, and I'm confident you, as graduates, will weather the present circumstances we find ourselves in. As Dr. Roebuck mentioned, you made it through a pandemic, your lives were disrupted, and you finally got to walk through the columns you first passed through 4 years ago. Bear in mind, class of 20, you have left your mark on Westminster College in so many unique in transformative ways. Please be assured we continue and will continue these transformational initiatives well into the future. My sincere desire is for you to see these initiatives come to their full fruition. Again, everyone witnessing this ceremony today is excited about it and about your future. I would personally like to congratulate you, the class of 2020, on this monumental life accomplishment. It is so well deserved. Finally, I would like to ask everybody here today to stand and give a round of applause for all those watching remotely and a heartfelt recognition of the significant role those individuals have played in your lives. Please stand and offer your applause. Thank you. Before I leave the podium, I have another special announcement to make. Every year at this time, our Board of Trustees nominates a graduating senior to serve as a young trustee to our board. This young trustee works with the other Board of Trustees members to support the college, stay active in the Westminster community, and share the perspective of being a new alumni member. This young trustee serves for the 2-year term and is an ex officio of the member of the Board of Trustees, Student Life Committee, Enrollment Committee, and other committees determined by the board chair. I'm pleased to announce that our newest young trustee is Will Stonecipher of the class of 2020 from Wildwood, Missouri. Congratulations, Will. And now I'd like to invite and introduce our chair of the Board of Trustees, Mr. James Morton, who'd like to say a few words to the class of 2020. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. To congratulate you on your graduation from Westminster College. Graduation from college is an important milestone in your life and career. It is important that you build on this achievement and maximize your potential. When preparing to speak today, I recall the speech I gave at my high school graduation back in the 1960s. The theme was, "Behold the turtle. He only makes progress when he sticks his neck out." I am fairly certain that this theme has been used numerous times, particularly during graduations. Now, more than 55 years later, I think the message is the same. I would urge each of you to be open to change, be flexible and open to career opportunities, even though they might require changes that may not always be easy or comfortable. Don't find yourself at the end of your careers and regret that you played it safe, thus not reaching your full potential. A liberal arts education has given you the tools to explore many different career endeavors. The future is going to require that you're lifelong learners. Stay involved and be positioned to take advantage of those opportunities that fulfill your ambitions. Thank you. Don?
Thank you, Jim. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker for today's exercises, Sarah Hart Ware. Ms. Ware recently ran for the United States Congress in the 3rd Congressional District of the Kansas primary. She's also a 2004 graduate of Westminster College. Ms. Ware will probably have a lot more to say about her time spent here, but I'll tell you what I know. She was known as an exceptional leader. Among her many awards and accomplishments, Ms. Ware was Senior of the Year and received the Winston Churchill Award for Leadership and Service. She came back to campus a decade after her graduation was recognized by the college as an Alumni Achievement honoree. That same year, Ms. Ware served and was the 2004 New Student Convocation Speaker. Since that time, Ms. Ware has made numerous headlines around and away from Westminster College. More recently, she served as President and CEO of the National Down Syndrome Society, where she was instrumental in leading the effort to pass the ABLE Act of 2014. the most significant legislation for disabled communities since the Americans with Disabilities Act. Most recently, Ms. Ware was among a handful of Republican women the Associated Press singled out in 2009 as a fresh face to watch for in the 2020 primary election. It's now my honor to present to you Sarah Hart Ware.
I kind of cheated and came up the walkway because my shoes would sink in the grass. Thank you, Mr. Lofi. I appreciate that lovely introduction, and I'm truly grateful to be home in Fulton today. Congratulations to each of you and this year's class of 2020. I'm deeply honored and humbled to be today's commencement speaker and play a small role in celebrating your remarkable achievements and helping send you off through the other side of the columns today. It was 20 years ago this very month I stepped on campus as a freshman at Westminster, and I still stand by the statement: choosing Westminster College was the best decision I ever made. I chose Westminster for the education, a chance to continue to play soccer, and above all, to start a new chapter in my life. I'll be honest, I didn't start writing this speech until Thursday. I know you are recent graduates or are graduating today. You all know a little bit about procrastination. Yes, 2 days ago, because I didn't know what the outcome of my congressional election would be on Tuesday. And I didn't know what I would offer up in terms of words of wisdom and going out into the world. It didn't take me very long, just a few hours, that the message here for you today would be the same. Align yourself with your own vision that is compelling and contagious, and you will always inspire and empower others to show up fully with passion and purpose. I've spent the last year of my life on one very big, long, hard job interview. It was a position I really, really wanted, to serve as a U.S. representative for my home district where I grew up in Kansas. But on Tuesday, just a few days ago, I came up short, 7,000 votes approximately short, and came in second. I did this, and a lot of people thought I was absolutely crazy for running for Congress in these times. I did this not for the title, not for the pay, because I took a significant pay cut to run for office. Not to age faster. Those before and after pictures of politicians are just plainly brutal. I did this because our country needs new leaders, young ones who can think outside the box, exactly the type of leaders Westminster College builds. People who are willing to sit across from the table from people they don't agree with, the other party, and find consensus, build consensus. I was sick of watching our country leaders negotiate policy on cable news, MSNBC, CNN, and Fox. I was sick of those armchair advocates, the ones that hide behind their social media and would never say what they type to your face. I wanted people to see that regardless of the letter behind your name, you are still you, and you can fight for what you believe in. And like I said at the start of my campaign over a year ago, I wanted to lead differently. Leaders who lead differently is exactly what this country needs. In business, in the classroom, in the nonprofit sector, public service, and government. After spending a year campaigning for Congress, I've seen up close and personal how desperate our country is for new leaders, young leaders, like you who are going to go out in the world and be disruptors. Your graduation looks a lot different than mine did 16 years ago. You aren't surrounded by family, friends. The celebrations are limited. We're living through a global pandemic, riots in our communities, the worst economy since the Great Depression, and our country is more divided than ever. The world is going to need you when you walk through those columns today. So I'm only about halfway through my adult life and my career, so I'm not going to stand here and pretend I have all the answers, but what I can do share is a glimpse of how I've approached my life the last 38 years. As a professional, as a CEO, as an advocate, and as a Westminster woman. Some of my milestones, and Dawn graciously pointed them out, some of my milestones since I stepped foot on this campus. At 19, I met this remarkable, incredible young woman with Down syndrome. I was just finishing my freshman year, got a call to do a third summer job in Olathe, Kansas, where I grew up, to serve as a peer mentor to help this student transition to high school. This chance encounter 20 years ago led me to find my Westminster passion and purpose, to become an advocate for people with disabilities. At 30 years old, I was offered my dream job to run the National Down Syndrome Society's Policy Center in Washington, D.C. I left my corporate job and I never looked back. By the time I was 32, I was spearheading the passage of the landmark ABLE Act and asked to step in the role as the CEO of a multi-million-dollar organization. At 37, I announced my bid for United States Congress, and on Tuesday at 38, I lost my first election. Churchill once said, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." These are just milestones of my last 38 years and from stepping foot on Westminster's campus. But what I know and what I can tell you today, it's those moments, those life lessons that are between those bullet points on your resume that truly matter. So class of 2020, here's what I can offer you. Do it your own way. Life, love, friendships, work, just do it your own way. When I stepped foot on this campus, no one handed me a roadmap and said, this is how you should live your life. In fact, that person I was at 18, and then 22, and 38 standing here today is not the same person, and that's okay. When I was asked to take over as the CEO of NDSS, I had no one sit me down and tell me how to run a national nonprofit, how to fundraise, how to manage a team. I figured it out, and I figured out how to make it my own. I guided every decision I made through the lens of the organization's mission, the tough times, the difficult times, and occasionally the easy ones. I just decided to do it my own way. And I came up with a guiding principle for running that organization. I would ask myself, does this help one person with Down syndrome? If the answer of it was that it could help one person, we would do it. If you'll indulge me in a quick story, I want to share with you a story of humanity that never makes those resume bullet points, but it led to the difference of helping one person with Down syndrome. And that's the one of Mr. James Wellman from California. James has Down syndrome and he has autism. And a few years ago, his kidneys were functioning at 5%. On a last resort, James and his mom went to see a UCLA kidney surgeon. That surgeon looked one look at James and another at his mom and said, "I'm not operating on your son. His IQ isn't high enough." Devastated as any parent out there could imagine, heartbroken, James's mom called our organization's 1-800 line. I called her back after a staff member asked me to, in 15 minutes. We weren't in the kidney transplant business at NDSS, but what we were in the business of was helping one person with Down syndrome. After denial, the Wellman family faced many dead ends. And after one final attempt, our organization helped tell that family's story on his local news. A perfect stranger, Paul Williams, came in to turn on the 10 o'clock news from walking his dog and saw James's story. The next day, he made one phone call. Months later, that perfect stranger was a perfect match for James. 2 years this January, James celebrated his second year of his successful kidney transplant. As an organization, we had no roadmap to help this incredible family, but we did have a mission statement, a purpose, and the courage to make a difference. Today, I take great pride in that James is healthy and happy and living his own life. We did it our own way. Teddy Roosevelt once said, "It's not the critic that counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man or the woman in the arena whose face is marred with dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, great devotions, and spins himself or herself a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end of the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly." I keep this quote visible at all times. In fact, I have it displayed in my living room. Westminster breeds leaders. This institution has taught us that each person's passion and purpose are different. I'm grateful I found my passion and my purpose at 19 while I was on this campus. And I was determined to change the world for Casey, my best friend. And little did I know, Casey would be the catalyst for meeting so many incredible families and colleagues and friends all across the country and the world. My work took me all around the world. I helped lead the effort to pass the most significant, important legislation for people with disabilities since the Americans with Disabilities Act. And when we did that, we didn't just get it across the finish line. We had 85% of the entire Congress support that legislation. We even got Bernie Sanders and Jim Jordan to agree on something for people with disabilities. Not every one of my moments in the arena has been great. In 2017, I faced a lot of criticism publicly for meeting with the Secretary of Education for the Trump administration, something I did countless times over under the Obama years. But I felt strongly to effectively advocate, you have to be at the table. The backlash that I faced was hard. I still have many deep scars from that experience, but I still stand by that decision to engage directly and meet with leaders who are in positions that impact the people you serve. Sometimes the right decision isn't always the popular one. Be someone who makes mistakes, learns from them, and takes risks. Be in the arena, push a worthy cause, and do it with integrity and devotion. You haven't spent the last 4 years on this campus to be average. When I was asked to give this address, it was also to help mark 40 years of women on our campus. To our incredible Westminster women and our college leadership, going co-ed 40 years ago was the best decision this college could have made. This college is incredibly special and prepares and transforms young students to be future leaders, men and women. And as a woman, even at 38, I've experienced and seen a lot. I've had people say to me, "Did you take an internship straight to the CEO position?" I've been mansplained over and over again by my counterparts, men in their 60s and 70s in the nonprofit sector. I've faced my own discrimination. In the last year on the campaign trail, I've been the subject of headlines by national TV and newspapers that the only reason I was recruited to run was I was a young, attractive female. But for every one person who has treated me in a disrespectful manner because I was a woman, there's been 10 more people who believed in me. Friends, colleagues, my Kappa sorority sisters, my campaign team, mentors, and of course, my incredible family. Never let those low points or negative situations define you. It's not really worth it. Work harder, and as we said on the soccer field back here, leave it all on the field. Prove your value and worth by being the leader who is in the trenches, somebody who's willing to show up early, work late, and deliver. Class of 2020, my advice is pretty simple and straightforward to you today. Do it your own way. Get off the sidelines and into the arena and leave it all on the field. This piece of paper that you're about to receive, it's an achievement nonetheless, but it's a contract with this institution, and you should fulfill every term with your own passion and courage to your last dying breath. And as we say here at Westminster College, each of us has come into the world with a purpose, to not simply be, but to become the embodiment of everything extraordinary that lives inside of us. Class of 2020, from a very, very proud member of the Westminster College of Class of 2004, it's your time. It's your time. Put your arms around your passion and go live your purpose. Congratulations. And now I would like to invite Interim President Lofi to return to the stage.
Sarah, thank you very much, and I assure this next comment is not in the script. Those are such inspirational, powerful, and such genuine words. Just thank you very much. Another round of applause to Sarah, please. Okay, folks, current students, parents and friends, the moment is upon us. Will the class of 2020 please rise? I now present the members of the class of 2020 who have been certified by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees of Westminster College for the degree of Bachelor of Arts. To those of you who have completed the requirements for the degree, by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Westminster College in the state of Missouri, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts with all the rights, privileges, and immunities pertaining thereto. To those of you who have not completed the requirements, I recognize you and authorize that degree to be awarded to you upon the completion of the additional work. Now at this point, I invite Dr. Roebuck, Vice President for Academic Affairs and the Dean of Faculty, and Dr. Casey Lacey, Vice President and the Dean of Students, to the stage.
New graduates, you'll be invited to the stage to receive your diplomas. As you reach the stage, I'll read your names, hopefully correctly, your hometowns, your majors, and any honors you've received based on your performance at the end of spring semester. Once you've reached the stage, you'll continue across the stage to receive your diploma and pose on the X for a picture. Matthew Powell Empman, Gerald, Missouri, psychology. Claire Courtney Baldwin, Columbia, Missouri, self-design major in marketing and entrepreneurship. Brandon Austin Beeler from Kirksville, Missouri, physical education K through 12, summa cum laude.
Good job, Brandon. Good job.
Lauren Elizabeth Bell from St. James, Missouri, degrees in finance and business communication and business administration. Andrew Scott Bennett from St. Louis, Missouri, political science. Carissa Jo Bentledge, Jefferson City, Missouri, early childhood education. Tracia Lynn Bradigam, Russellville, Missouri, degrees in English and secondary education, summa cum laude, and Alpha Chi. Michaelin Brianna Callahan from Lebanon, Missouri, degrees in accounting and business administration, cum laude. Jemima Caroline Charlie from Luganville, Vanuatu, French. Annalie Grace Chitwood from Fayetteville, Arkansas, biochemistry. Seth Henry Klein from Albany, Missouri, degree in business administration. Josie Ann Cotter from Pleasant Hill, Missouri, degree in exercise science, magna cum laude. Sarah Lynn Craddock from Maryland Heights, Missouri, degree in physics, summa cum laude. Danielle Taylor Crivello, St. Louis, Missouri, history. Terry Leanna Davis from Hannibal, Missouri, biology. John Charles DeArmey from Overland Park, Kansas, English. Reagan Macy DeCamp from Kansas City, Missouri, degree in early childhood education, magna cum laude. Ethan Schmidt Dymeke from Shamrock, Missouri, degrees in Business Communication and Security Studies, summa cum laude, and Alpha Chi. Delilah Sky Donnelly from Hartsburg, Missouri, Business Administration, magna cum laude. Trevor Brian Lyndon Dow from Columbia, Missouri, History. Kaylee Lauren Edwards from Hominy, Oklahoma, English, cum laude. Madison McHenry Eckern from Chicago, Illinois, degrees in psychology and a self-design major in public health, magna cum laude. Anthony Layton Fairchild from Benton City, Missouri, degrees in leadership and business communication. Allison Joyce Frizella, St. Louis, Missouri, political science, magna cum laude. Jeremy Joseph George from Norman, Oklahoma, security studies. Dylan Alexander Goff from Mexico, Missouri, degrees in mathematics and finance. Madison Lee Gregory from Chillicothe, Missouri, degree in biochemistry. Danielle Elizabeth Griffiths from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, degrees in business administration and accounting.
Good job, Matt.
Matthew Christopher Hagan from Columbia, Missouri, biochemistry. Lydia Lynn Lavender Hale, Martinsburg, Missouri, degree in biology, cum laude. Colton Christopher Hedrick from Rolla, Missouri, degree in physics. Reagan Danielle Hoon from Westphalia, Missouri, psychology, summa cum laude. Christopher Jacob Eidelberg from Blackjack, Missouri, philosophy. You can take the small one. Madison Alexis Ingram from Bowling Green, Missouri, degrees in business communication and English. Bailey Amber Johnson from O'Fallon, Missouri, biochemistry. Katie Sue Johnson from Defiance, Missouri, degree in psychology. Ashley Marie Kostaitis, Lincoln, Nebraska, degrees in exercise science and health and wellness. Alexis Elizabeth Virginia Nicely, Lake St. Louis, Missouri, biochemistry. Lucy Isabella Crotchy from St. Louis, Missouri, degrees in business administration and business communication, magna cum laude. Madison Shea Loescher, Kansas City, Missouri, degrees in religious studies and transnational studies, magna cum laude. Emily Rose Lucet from Waynesville, Missouri, degree in health and wellness. Sarah Mae Manley from Kirkwood, Missouri, self-design major in business management with a leadership emphasis and a self-design major in integrated marketing communications. Sean Joseph Markley from Wildwood, Missouri, self-design major in actuarial science. Emily Elizabeth McCann from Chesterfield, Missouri, early childhood education. Jared Kent McKee from California, Missouri, degrees in political science and philosophy, cum laude. Colby Rebecca McNutt from Skiatook, Oklahoma, degree in international business and business communication and Spanish, cum laude. Isabel Riley Miller from Moscow Mills, Missouri, business administration. Nicholas William Monson, Columbia, Missouri, physics. Nicholas Taylor Moore, Springfield, Missouri, business administration. John Bryce Moorman, Gravette, Arkansas, secondary physical education, cum laude. Margaret Elizabeth Morris, Mary's Home, Missouri, biology, summa cum laude, and Alpha Chi. Jonathan Daniel Neef, St. Louis, Missouri, political science and mathematics, magna cum laude. Isaac Lawrence Newberry from St. Louis, Missouri, environmental studies. Eric Roger Newcomb Sr. from Eugene, Missouri, leadership. Yusuf Noor from Hargeisa, Somaliland, health and wellness.
Good job, Brett.
Brett Daniel Paglish, St. Louis, Missouri, education, curriculum studies, and history.
Good job, Menzel. Good to see you.
Menzel Mac Payne from Kingdom City, Missouri, accounting. Dante Ping from Columbia, Missouri, Sports Management. Isabel Ping from Columbia, Missouri, Exercise Science. John Theodore Pervinich, Jefferson City, Missouri, Biochemistry, cum laude. Sydney Dominique Pinkerton from Lee Summit, Missouri, degrees in Biochemistry and Exercise Science. Grant Aloysius Powderly from Cape Girardeau, Missouri, Biochemistry, summa cum laude, 4.0 GPA, and Alpha Chi. Catherine Marie Price from Ashland, Missouri, degrees in Mathematics, Economics with Honors, and Spanish, summa cum laude, and Alpha Chi. Trevor Luke Rhodes from O'Fallon, Missouri, degree in Accounting and Business Administration, magna cum laude. Anthony Clayton Rickey, New Bloomfield, Missouri, Leadership, magna cum laude. Anna Kathleen Reinhardt from Overland Park, Kansas, Elementary Education, cum laude. Michael Angelo Royce from St. Louis, Missouri, Accounting. Melissa Ann Rolsett, Owasso, Oklahoma, Political Science and History, magna cum laude, and Alpha Chi. Jonathan Vincent Ruzzo, Burnsville, Missouri, Finance, cum laude. Anna Maybell Sodeman, St. Louis, Missouri, Elementary Education, magna cum laude. Matthew William Spinnenweber from Ellisville, Missouri, Environmental Science. Elena Marie Stark, Eldon, Missouri, Business Administration. Sloan Catherine Stockard from Dallas, Texas, Business Communication. William Richard Stonecipher from Wildwood, Missouri, Business Administration and Accounting, magna cum laude. Kimberlyn Summers from Fulton, Missouri, degrees in Psychology, Spanish, and Education Curriculum Studies, magna cum laude. Cristo Aldo Tabarez, Flagstaff, Arizona, degrees in Psychology and Leadership. Mary Elizabeth Theroff, Jefferson City, Missouri, Middle School Education, magna cum laude. Natalie Nicole Tiffany from Columbia, Missouri, degrees in biology, exercise science, and philosophy, magna cum laude. Angela Nicole Vanderplume from Belleville, Illinois, exercise science, magna cum laude. Aubrey Noel Vaughn from Belton, Missouri, biochemistry. Hayden Michael Wallace from Blue Springs, Missouri, business administration. Lauren Elizabeth Williams from Springfield, Illinois, English, magna cum laude. Whitney Ann Wilson from Iberia, Missouri, political science. About another round of applause for the graduates.
It's a little warm up here, y'all, just a little warm. So, first of all, I want to tell you, as your Vice President, Dean of Student Life, it has truly been my honor to serve and to be a part of the growth that I witnessed in all of you. And so I just want to thank you. I have some students that were in my seminar. I have been with you this entire 4 years. And those students in my seminar, I was even pregnant with my daughter, Harper Jean Lacey. And so I've been with you. I got the blood, sweat, tears. I got the t-shirt too. So we're in this together. And I want to take this time to also thank the parents that are watching and the parents that are here for trusting us with your wonderful young men and women. And so if we could please give a round of applause one more time, parent to parent, thank you. I know, the biggest part of this that's been painful for me, aside from sweating up here, is I don't get to give hugs. And you know me, I'm a hugger. So again, I am incredibly honored that I get to present the Outstanding Senior Award this year on behalf of the Westminster College Alumni Association. The Alumni Association Outstanding Senior Award, Westminster's most prestigious award for graduating seniors, was established in 1977 to honor well-respected graduating seniors for their service to Westminster College, the city of Fulton, the surrounding community, and their living group. They are individuals who exemplify Westminster's mission and in their commitment to the values of integrity, fairness, respect, and responsibility. The many qualities of the nominees under consideration make this a difficult decision every year. So it is truly a great honor for the individuals who have been chosen. Our first senior of the year is from St. Louis, Missouri. He skillfully balanced academics, multiple leadership positions, and athletics at Westminster. He double majored in business communication and business administration. He is a member of the National Athlete Honor Society, Student Foundation, Student Ambassadors, and Delta Mu Delta. He also happens to be one of the most decorated baseball players in the history of Westminster College. This man received the Newcomer of the Year award in his first season with the Blue Jays and is a two-time All-Conference recipient. More impressively, is a two-time All-Region recipient and was recently selected as a member of the Co-SIDA Academic All-District. He also interned full-time during the summers at the Center of St. Louis and Rawlings Sporting Goods. Somehow, through all of his responsibilities, he also found time to volunteer at the St. Peter and Paul Soup Kitchen every Thanksgiving, and he volunteered with the Missouri Special Olympics. He successfully ran the Missouri Special Olympics Bowling League here in Fulton. He is described as a servant leader who leads by example, the perfect model for a Westminster and the Senior of the Year award. It is my privilege to announce that Ryan Joseph Clavin, who unfortunately could not be here with us today, is one of the 2 recipients of the Alumni Association Outstanding Senior Award. If we can give him a round of applause. Our second senior year of the award is from Owasso, Oklahoma. She double majored in political science and history and was on the dean's list all 4 years at Westminster. That is just the beginning of a long list of this young woman's academic accomplishments. She belonged to the honors program, received the Excellence in Interdisciplinary Research Award this spring, and was Junior of the Year. Research from this young woman's senior thesis became the foundation of 2 articles that ran this year in the Tulsa World News and the Oklahoman. She served as the senior senator of the Student Government Association, as the president of the Oath and Values Board, as communications chair of our campus activities board, and president of her sorority, Alpha Gamma Delta. In addition, she belonged to a long list of honor societies: Alpha Chi, Omicron Delta Kappa, Phi Alpha Theta, Pi Sigma Alpha, Phi Alpha Delta, and the list goes on. And I didn't mess that up. I was worried about that part. And somehow she still managed to volunteer her time to others. She was a political science tutor and volunteered at the Food Bank of Central and Northeast Missouri. She was also a head residential advisor, Rimley Women's Center intern, Tulsa County Public Defender's Office intern, and policy intern for the National Youth Network in Washington, D.C. This young woman embodies a phrase from Westminster's mission statement. She has led a life of success, significance, and service, and I know she will continue to do that after today. It is my privilege to present the Outstanding Senior Award to Melissa Ralseth, or as I know her, Missy. I don't know what the award's at. It's right there. Good job. I would now like to invite Marshall Jones back to the podium.
Graduates of 2020. As graduates of Westminster College, you may now move your tassels to the left. Congratulations. Many congratulations on your achievements. This concludes the commencement ceremony. We will now move immediately to one of our most beloved traditions, the column ceremony. This time-honored rite of passage is the final farewell of the academic journey for the class of 2020. Just as they were welcomed as freshmen into the Westminster community by walking through the columns onto campus, graduates will now say goodbye to Westminster by walking through the columns and into the world. As this is a very special ceremony this year, and to promote health and safety, we will invite each graduate to walk individually through the columns as directed by the Skulls of Seven. I now invite to the podium the custodian of the columns, Skull Sarah Ayers.
In accordance with time-honored custom, another class is about to pass from the cloistered halls of our beloved college. Today, you lay aside your academic robes. Tomorrow, you face the stern realities of a troubled and changing world. But have no fear. For 4 years, you have been sheltered and trained behind the protecting walls of our alma mater. Tomorrow, in the world's arena, you take your place in the growing army of Westminster's sons and daughters, mindful of her traditions, defenders of learning, soldiers of righteousness. As you fight against the odds of the world, never forget, these lofty pillars, replicas of the first Westminster, bear their message to the mind rather than the material eye. Endowments and buildings, however necessary, are empty things unless the institution they house is animated by a living soul. The ever-changing traditions throughout the past, the insightful memories of our elders, the precious recollections of a just people made perfect. Hallow this place and make it sacred for those yet to come and for those who have already gone. So as you pass between these majestic columns, you are not abandoning the college, but are hastening to take your place in the ranks of her defenders. To you, Westminster commits her future and her honor. Seek wisdom, live uprightly, promote justice, defend freedom, serve God, and live this heritage. As you pass through these pillars, may you take the knowledge and skill you have gained here at Westminster out into the world. Congratulations, class of 2020. You may now pass through the columns.
All right, thank you, everyone. Would everyone please stand if you're able to and remove your hats for our alma mater? All right, please remain standing with your hats off, and I'd now like to invite Chaplain Nice Webb to return to the stage for the benediction. Thank you.
Graduates, please receive this blessing. As you move through each coming day, regardless of the challenges and successes you will face, may you stay true to your deepest convictions. May you remain open to the stories of those around you. May you never stop learning and resisting easy answers. May you be wise enough to seek out the simple joys that restore your spirits, and intentional enough to cultivate good friendships, to share the journey, as we each work in our own ways to build the kind of world that is more true, more brave, and more loving. Go in peace. I now invite Marshal David Jones back to the podium to dismiss you.
Please be seated. Please remain in your seats until dismissed by the skulls of 7. The platform party will depart first, followed by the graduating seniors, dismissed row by row. I declare this convocation to be closed and wish you well on your life's journey as you depart these columns.